This is the end of our broadcast day. Beep, beep,
Nothing's working.
beep. Good thing nobody's here. That's okay. Beep, beep. Hey, shh, 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 shh. We had a good thing going, buddy.
Okay, it's working.
All right.
At least as far as I can tell.
Okay.
Is it working? Is it working? Is it working?
Hello. I'm gonna talk. I'm using my radio voice. We should figure out how to get a radio station. But like late at night, like we did, so that only truckers driving up from like Arizona could listen. Hey.
Yeah, it's working. Okay.
Good, good.
Okay.
Hey.
Seems to work okay.
All right.
People can complain if anybody's listening.
If anybody's listening, please complain. I mean, don't complain, but
Chip
you know.
test.
Chip test. 1, 2, 1, 2. All right. Shh. You need to finish that, sir. Okay.
Ugh. More chip test.
I know, it's so good.
Salsa madre tomatillo avocado salsa.
It's so good.
Maybe the best salsa ever.
Maybe the best salsa made by a human. Or,
Not made in a factory.
yeah, not made in a factory.
Because factory made salsas are so much better.
Dude, factory made salsa verde from a factory is like the worst thing on the planet. Like red salsas from factories was whatever, but
It's
like,
pretty bad.
but yeah, but shelf salsa verde on the shelf is like bizarre. It tastes so bad.
Yeah.
I don't know what they have to do to it to make it like shelf stable, but
Oh, the salsa's just like in like a jug.
yeah.
That stuff's terrible. Is it even really salsa? But it's like it's actually more of like a soup or something.
And after you have not that salsa for an extended period of time, and you have some, you're like, what did they put, like 2 cups of sugar in this? Just it's just like how everything has to just have so much sugar in it.
Maybe it has to because
Sugar,
it helps
Sugar's a preservative.
preserve it.
Yeah.
Want some water.
It's probably just because people like sugar.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
I wanted tangerine water.
Philip is going to have a tangerine water. So, welcome to They Drank Tea in Disgust, an episode in which no tea will get drunk. I have some white tea, but
Yeah, I don't feel like setting up
yeah, I was gonna say
stuff in here.
we've had enough like set up as it is.
Yeah.
I'm currently with my baby. His name is Felix, and he's more hassle than any tea.
Which, I mean, that's not too hard. Tea's not too much of a hassle. It would be right now. But...
Yeah. So you can imagine with us the beautiful, delicious white tea, which is like liquid beauty. It's kind of what tea is.
Yeah.
But instead, I got chips and salsa from the little indoor farmer's market in Provo, which is the worst snack ever for a podcast.
But the best snack.
Yeah.
To eat.
So good. The salsa's so good, but the chips are so crunchy. It could just be like an ASMR thing. Somebody's probably way into chips.
Tortilla chip ASMR.
Yeah.
Sure.
That sounds dreadful to listen to.
Some people like it.
Yeah, somebody's way into it, I'm sure. So we're going to practice non-crunchy chip eating. All right.
I need to get new brush
So,
cleaner.
Topic for today is an essay, an audio essay, I'm not sure, by poet Dana Gioia.
However you say his
I
name.
know.
I don't know how
Forgive
you
me.
pronounce that string of vowels.
Gioia.
Gioia.
Dana Gioia, which is a famous contemporary American poet.
I had never heard of him actually.
Yeah, I really like him. And he just happens to have a whole bunch of interesting uh, things to say about poetry and art. Actually, if you. I've watched a whole bunch of stuff he's made. A topic he talks about a lot, which is fairly interesting, is how he followed the pattern of famous American poet Wallace Stevens by having a successful full time job his whole life and essentially like writing poetry for a couple hours every night and then becoming a famous poet.
And that's what Dana did. Or
Yep.
Dana.
Yep. Which it's an interesting that kind of takes the pressure off of oh no, baby. Kind of takes the pressure off of using your art to make money, which is nice.
Yeah.
It's just that's a very interesting topic because I've oftentimes found those two things to be at odds. I think a lot of people do. I mean, that's kind of what you do. You are a collageteer.
I'm a yeah. And then I do
Yeah, and then you kind of
art
don't.
after
Yeah, art.
after work.
Yeah, art is something you get to do, and you're not like reliant on it to make money, which takes that sort of like pressure off.
Mm-hmm.
Because every once in a while, I have to like. Besides the fact that I just do some jobs I don't like, I also every once in a while have to do some sort of like scheme.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't have to do it. I should say I scheme it and then I think better of it. Oh my. So, that's a path that you can take. Is you can have a successful full-time job and be an artist in the evening.
Mm-hmm.
Although, um, to summarize very quickly what Mr. Gioia has to say about it is it's not easy. A lot of self-discipline.
Yeah.
Because full-time jobs can suck a lot out of you.
Yeah. I mean, luckily mine isn't too stressful, but still, it's like sometimes I come home and I'm just like, I kind of want to just not do anything. It's just like, it's very easy to just be like, well, I'm just gonna play a video game or something when I get home. Because it's like, I don't want to do anything right at the moment.
Okay. Philip, you're going to have to entertain our many listeners for a moment. I'm going to go make a new bottle for this guy.
Sounds good. I'm trying to find a book I set down, but there is always a balance. Nobody's even listening, but gosh, where did I put that book? Where? What the heck? I'm going crazy. I literally just used this book today. Okay, there it is. Anyway, there is something liberating about not approaching art as like necessarily a professional thing, but as something where you're pursuing it because of its own thing. And yeah, like Casey said, or like what Dana would say, it does take discipline because it kind of just becomes one hobby among other hobbies that you may have. But that's how it goes sometimes. So I'm somebody who has too many interests. I have too many things I'm trying to do all the time. But it works out. I'm not miserable. Okay. But in some ways, you know, one of the downsides is sometimes you don't find the time you'd like because you get distracted. There is something to be said about if you're doing art professionally, you're kind of forced to really like hunker down and hone skills. Whereas if it's just kind of your thing you're doing in your free time, sometimes you kind of skip out and developing some skills because you're just kind of doing it for fun. But anyway, gosh. Somebody watching now? I can't tell. Casey's off somewhere. Taking care of a baby. Why? Hey, Rachel. There's not a whole lot going on right now. It's kind of a one-sided discussion right at the moment. Waiting on Casey to take care of something. But the gist is, so far, we were eating some chips and we're about to start discussing some things about... Oh gosh, hold on. Oh my god. I'm getting distracted myself. Hold on. We're wandering around my basement at the moment, so I'm trying to fix my setup. But where was I? It's about... We were just talking about how Dana Gioia wasn't just like a professional poet, but he had his own career that he was pursuing and kind of did poetry on the side and eventually became... Yes, this is my art on the screen. I started this a while ago and I've been like jumping around to other stuff. I thought maybe I would work on it a bit right now. Gosh, it's probably dusty actually. Yeah, it's dusty. Wow. But kind of the idea of because we're so used to thinking of art as just like a professional pursuit almost. So something like that where you can become more or less a master of it without having pure dedication to it as a professional, but rather as something you're kind of doing in your free time. Because I think, if I believe, I don't know Dana, Gioia, all that. In fact, I don't think I'd ever heard of them before Casey mentioned them, but anyway. We have a
Pretty little trees. Hello, Rachel. This is my radio voice. So as it turns out, bringing a baby to the stream is a terrible idea. But
now you know.
yeah, now we know. I will make it happen not like this.
I don't know how much you can really see what I'm doing. I was like not sure. Every once in a while I'll stream painting.
Yeah, you need like some Bob Ross commentary.
I don't know what I'm doing well enough to do that.
Alright.
Right now I'm using a liner brush. Get some little...
Right now I'm feeding an angry baby.
Sounds like some reverb.
What does?
I wonder... you know what?
What?
See, this is good to know, because I thought there was something screwy going on with the audio. And this is good feedback. Okay. Oh, oops. So I wanted... I don't know why it's doing this. Is this better? Because OBS is sometimes a battle every time. Sometimes every time it is. Because I feel like I don't change anything, but every time I open it, something is like all screwed up. And it's usually the audio. Because I had it set up so my two lav mics would actually be separate channels, but now they're just all the same. Okay, that's what I thought. So it was outputting both to both. So each channel for the microphones were each getting both of them, which I don't understand why it was doing that. But that's what it was doing.
All right.
Came here for technical discussion about video streaming software.
Thank you. All right.
So it's me painting while Casey takes care of a baby. That's the stream.
Yep.
That's the premise. But anyway, I was telling about that idea of pursuit, like artistic pursuit, not as like a profession.
Yeah.
And how if you're used to thinking of it that way, it's freeing to not. I mean, I've what was I was just about to say something. It's sometimes it's hard to like focus on painting and like trying to form ideas sometimes. But I've been doing kind of just turned my artistic pursuits into a hobby for a while now. But I do the farmer's market sometimes. And I was stressing myself out last year about preparing for this year. I've kind of decided I probably won't do it this year just because I think it was stressing me out. So I'm just like, I'm just going to do stuff and just keep setting up my studio to be more the way I want it so I can more easily do the things I want to do. Because I wanted to do a bunch of printmaking stuff, but I don't have a good setup for that right now. And I have plans to build the desk, which I'll probably be building this month, but kind of just shifting much more to like I'll get to trying to sell my stuff here later. For now, I'm just gonna enjoy the ride, not like stress myself out.
Dangerous chemical smells in your
Dangerous chemical smells?
Well, I just mean like, I'm just gonna wheel it in there.
Oh. I mean, as long as it should be fine.
Yeah, because it's not like...
Not at the moment. Later today when I'm going to be doing some print t-shirts, there might be some chemical smells, but that's currently not happening, so... Oh, it's too chaotic in here. Right now my easel's just like in a corner, but in this corner I'm gonna have a whole big desk for printmaking that I could just set the easel on. It'd be less of a pain and more workspace. Right now I'm just like folding tables and like a breakfast in bed table almost. I'd set some paint on it. It's kind of annoying. But anyway. Sorry, while I do some quick color research. Something that I really need to work on is proper color theory and mixing.
All right.
But
let's hope that
it's not too cold in there.
No.
Or is that like what your house is like?
It's like what my house is like. I just stowed my baby in Philip's like workshop.
I mean, it's like 60 something in there.
Oh, he will be fine. So
it's your turn.
Yeah, hopefully he will take a little nap. That'd be ideal. Let me know if you can hear a crying baby. Oh my goodness, if it works.
If it works.
Oh, you know what? Dang it. Hold on. I think I have to. Sorry about that. Okay. Again. Bringing baby. Ouch. Sometimes you step on Philip's floor and get stabbed.
Yeah,
stabbed by a wire.
What? What is this?
I don't know. A teeny tiny wire. All right.
Where on earth did this come from? Did it come from my steel guitar?
I don't know.
How would it have ended up over here?
but
It's the only thing I
but
can think of that would have that.
I stepped on it, and then I pulled it off my foot, and it stabbed my thumb. So I got double stabbed.
Jeez. Well,
Um,
now it should be dealt with.
yeah. Dude, speaking of poetry, someday we should just strum on that steel guitar and like read poetry. I thought about that. I was like, it'd be fun just because Phil built his own steel guitar.
I can show it
It's pretty cool.
if you want. If I can find it.
So yeah, poet Dana Gioia is a proponent of having a job and doing your art on the side, and he is a famous poet. So he made it work.
Wasn't he poet laureate?
I don't think he was poet laureate of the United States, but I think he's
of like some state maybe.
I think he was. I mean, I think he's. I'm not super familiar with the world of poetry, but I think he's well decorated.
However that works.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's an interesting. That's not the topic of this particular essay of his, but that is something he talks about a lot, which I thought was very interesting. Because yeah, it's hard though. It's hard because he warns, obviously a job takes a lot of your energy. And it's you have to be able to make time for the art if you're going to go that way. But if you can do it, then your art is free from the burden of having to be financial. I always think of we talked about the filmmaker Tarkovsky, and he has a quote which is something like what is it? Money cripples art and politics kills it. Because obviously he spent his whole life trying to get films made that were not financially viable. So,
or probably totally politically viable.
Yeah.
in his case.
Yeah.
He probably like drove him crazy.
Yeah, he had a tough time. Yeah.
Fantastic films though when he did make them.
Yeah, it's a little too bad that he didn't get to make a couple more. But this particular essay is about beauty, and I thought it was really great because I'll give a quick summary. It has my very favorite definition of beauty that I've ever heard. He explains it. He defines beauty in a really nice way, and then he goes on to talk about kind of beauty in the context of two modern ideologies. One, how I guess postmodernism and its kind of dismissal of beauty, and then like American practical pragmatism and its, I guess, dismissal of beauty as well.
Well, it's like one being like beauty isn't important, the other one is beauty doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Sort of a thing.
Yeah.
So it's like two different ways of looking at it, where it's like on the one hand it's like beauty, the pursuit of beauty is a waste of time because it's not just like productive, and the other one is it's not necessarily a waste of time, but it's not like something you can really differentiate from anything else because it's just another construct among all others.
Yeah.
Whereas he's arguing that it's like a fundamental part of like the human condition to experience beauty, and that it's not just a subjective thing, but it's an actual real phenomena that we experience. So it's very, very interesting. This particular, I don't know what you call it. Is it an essay? Do you call something that somebody's just like talking about something? Is that
yeah, I don't know what a lecture. It's probably more of a lecture, I suppose, because they call them video essays on YouTube. However, this isn't like he hasn't made little motion graphics. And
no? It's almost just like him being like getting something like off his chest. Almost.
yeah, because he's just chatting at his desk.
Should have posted a link to it on the.
Oh yeah, so
But
the disclaimer is just go listen to that. That'll be better than our talk. But
but we're just hanging out here.
yeah, we're just hanging out. We're talking about it. So his definition, I should pull up the transcript, but off.
Yeah, lectures, fair enough. I mean, lecture seems to imply that it's like there's an audience specifically.
Yeah, he's not like at a pulpit.
He's just like in his office at home.
Yeah.
But anyway,
a lectern, not a pulpit, or a lectern.
Whatever it is. Whatever it is, it's good, and it's him just expressing his ideas.
Yeah. So again, yeah, I don't have the I should pull up the transcript real fast, but let's see if I can remember the essay or the definition. So first he says, let's just use an example. So say you see the mountain, right? And so the beauty, first it arrests you, right? Kind of sweeps over you, kind of fills your senses. It produces, joy, euphoria, whatever, you get that little rush where you're like, oh wow, the mountain against the sky in this light somehow like sweeps me off my feet. So one thing, again, I can't remember his definition.
Wait, it's like 3 parts.
Yeah,
three parts of. But it's like him describing like the process of experiencing beauty.
Yeah. So yeah, first it gets you. One of the interesting things about that I really like is you can't really control it. You can't. It's not necessarily pleasure in the sense that if I think a food is pleasurable, I can go eat it whenever I want if I have it, right? But you can't always control when beauty kind of like strikes, as it were. Like, you can't, and if it, I think this is the end of his definition, but it goes away. So if I see the mountain and this sort of, I'm struck by the beauty and it kind of sweeps through me, and there might be a point where it goes away and I can't, it doesn't matter if I like keep staring at the mountain.
Your experience of it changes.
Yeah.
It's like that arresting moment, and like the moment of.
And here, I will pull up the transcripts of it.
Yeah. The moment of like pleasure of that experience is ephemeral. Like it doesn't like continue from that thing forever, because that initial feeling of how it like grabs you is for a moment.
Oh, I have to not connect it to the internet here. Maybe I can just do it on here. Hopefully I don't end the stream. Maybe I'll open it in a different...
Here.
Okay.
Go. Where do you find it?
I was just going to look it up on YouTube. Because YouTube usually auto fills a transcript.
I mean, I have it. Where?
Look in the description, and it's usually like the very bottom of the description. Nope, maybe not. With a lot of videos, I wonder if it would show it on a device, on a,
On like a phone?
yeah.
Maybe.
In a lot of videos now, YouTube just makes a transcript.
Huh.
Oh well.
Here is. Well, there's a link to it. It's kind of like that, but it even applies to like, because in the sense with like a sunset, it kind of like that ephemeral feeling of awe coincides with the fact that that thing itself fades and changes and dissipates from what it was. But it also, according to Dana, is like, even if you see like a wonderful sculpture, it's like that initial feeling of when you're like taking it in is fleeting. Like you don't feel the same way seeing like an amazing painting the whole time you're looking at it. There's still a lot you can appreciate, but there's a difference between like that something that's beautiful. There's something that happens when you first encounter it and take it in. And that's part of the nature of beautiful things. And so, yeah, sunset would be some of that. An example he gives is the Grand Canyon. I mean, the context of why he brings up that example is a little different, but it's similar. Because at that point, he's like discussing different, I think, definitions of beauty or whatever.
Yeah.
And how some people would consider beauty something that,
A socio-political construct.
yeah, I can't remember exactly what
how
he described it. Because he's like, art isn't necessarily something that makes you feel greater, but it can also make you feel diminutive. So like the Grand Canyon, where it's like when you're like the Grand Canyon isn't something where you're like, wow, this makes me feel great. It's like it makes me feel small, but it's like I don't remember exactly how he phrased it, but it's kind of like art, like beauty is it will arrest you in that kind of awe-inspiring moment of it. It could be many reasons why that happens, but that was an example he gave. Anyway.
All right, hold on one moment. Put a baby's pacifier back in.
Baby time.
Baby
time. Oh.
Oh, baby.
Enjoy the sounds of baby.
All right. You know, sometimes your stream just has to have a screaming baby, like as one does. All right. Yeah, so I'm trying to remember just again, I assumed there would be a transcript because there are so many transcripts on YouTube now.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, he also, there's a lot of like religious elements to his conception of beauty too.
Yes.
Very much like looking at it. Because he explores.
Hold on, let me try it. You can.
Trying to remember which philosophers. I think it was like
Aquinas.
Aquinas. Yes. I'm trying to remember exactly what the. Basically, I think he's basically the Aquinas theory of beauty is truth, and it's that which like reflects like the. Gosh, I can't remember the exact way it's worded. But it's like the things that reflect the truth of like the nature of creation or something along those lines, which was also so there's that one. He also talks about Aristotle's ideas and Dostoevsky
and our boy Wilde.
Yep,
Oscar Wilde. Yeah, one thing that
Rachel wasn't here for our Oscar Wilde discussion.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
One might say he's wild.
He's in our pantheon of angry turn of the century people.
Yeah, of he's probably the youngest of the grumpy guys.
I mean, he was probably. He wasn't like a young guy at that point, I don't think.
Yeah, but he's younger than.
He was younger than like Tolstoy and.
Yeah.
To get you up to date, there is a whole collection of like really annoyed and upset old men from around about 1900 plus or minus like 20 years from all over the world that are all roughly complaining about how much like new stuff sucks.
Yeah.
And it's actually really interesting. All the different perspectives. I mean, a lot of it's like looking at industrialization and the effect that has on like the aesthetics of society, but they all have different complaints. Like in Japan, what's his name? I forgot his name already.
Oh, I don't remember it either.
Anyway, it's
Mr. In Praise of Shadows.
In Praise of Shadows is the name of the essay, short book, whatever you call that. It's not very long.
Yeah, if you get the chance, In Praise of Shadows
It's really, really good.
Is a stellar book for an artist to read. It's really wonderful.
He's complaining about like electric lights. That's like basically the actual like thesis of the whole thing is electric lights ruin Japanese aesthetics. But he brings up so many things that I didn't think about that kind of I still see all the time. Like when he's talking about like in the park, like going to see fireworks, he's like, it used to be all dark and you'd go to the park and the fireworks were magical because it was actually dark. Now there's like lamps everywhere and it's just not dark. And he's like, there's nowhere ever that doesn't have light now. And how horrible that is. And ever since reading that, it's like, oh my gosh, yeah, there is never darkness anywhere. And it's like, start noticing lights everywhere, and it's like, this is kind of driving me crazy a little bit. It's like, I know how he feels.
No, man, if you're in the... if you're anywhere near the city of any city in the United States, you can't... There's like 3 stars in the sky at any given time. Like, you just can't see stars.
Well, even if you're like not near it, like you could be like up like in the canyon and you'll still get like light pollution in the sky from like Salt Lake or something.
Yeah.
It'll be less, but it's like you like cannot escape it. And he's like complaining about that.
So,
but also him admitting that like there are a lot of advantages. Like his whole thing with like trying to figure out was it like a lamp or something for his house?
Oh yeah.
And he eventually just like gave up because he's like, there's no way to make this feel like a traditional lamp but have it be electric, but the electric lamp's just so convenient. And eventually he's like, I guess I'll just do the thing I hate. Anyway.
Yeah, we're planning on moving pretty soon. And the other day, just randomly, I don't even remember why. I've never been to oh my gosh, what's the place? I forgot. Arizona. But oh my gosh, my story doesn't work if I can't remember the name of this random city.
You're moving to Arizona?
No. No, we're not. Let's see. But my anecdote. So, oh my gosh, cities in Arizona. So,
which city in Arizona?
that's what I can't believe I can't remember.
There's a lot in Arizona.
Oh, I know this is a miserable way to... Just a second.
You're just looking at a list of every city in Arizona?
Well, I was looking by population because it's fairly big. But apparently nothing... Flagstaff. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I've driven through Arizona like a bajillion times. And I've never been to Flagstaff, but I've driven through Flagstaff. And for some reason the other day it came to mind. I was like, every time you drive through there, it's like it goes from being kind of classic Arizona to suddenly you're like in the middle of a bunch of pine trees.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, Flagstaff, I remember that's pretty. So I looked it up just randomly. And I guess it's the coolest city on the planet. It's like kind of a ski resort city. It's colder than here. Which is weird because it's in Arizona, but
if you go a little bit further north, it's like ridiculously hot.
Yeah, I guess it's just like this
It's just a
little.
higher
Yep,
elevation or
it's a
something.
little weird like mountaintop getaway in Arizona, and we're not moving there because it was super expensive. Um, but I guess it is the first city in the United States to have a mandatory blackout every night. So they don't
Mm,
they don't have light pollution. They turn it all off.
that's kind of nice.
You know, that's cool. Yeah, it
I'm
was
in
funny
favor
because
of that.
I learned about it and I was like, holy cow, this place sounds great. Let's move there. And then that was immediately kiboshed
You're like,
because it's like a resort town,
yeah,
kind of Park City esque. Um.
you know,
Anyway, this
I'll
is
be kind of down that way at some point in the spring because I want to go. Well, I don't know where I'm going yet. I want to go to a flea market in the Navajo Nation on a Saturday because that's when they have them. But I don't know when when I want to go. But it would be probably near there. That or somewhere in New Mexico. I don't know. I've been like slowly gathering intel on the best way to go about that, but
what are you looking for at the flea market
I want to get
in the Navajo Nation?
two things. I want to get mutton
Mutton.
because mutton's a big thing there.
Hmm.
And I don't know where you get it otherwise.
I think you poach a sheep.
Yeah. And then another one is I want to get a turquoise ring
Hmm.
because they're cool.
They are cool.
So that's that made me think of that. But
All right, was backing all the way up. So back through grumpy old men who were sad as the age of machines descended upon them and made it so that um, cheap stuff gets produced in factories. And backing all the way up to Dana Gioia. Uh, yeah, Thomas Aquinas saying that
I've not read any Thomas Aquinas. I kind of want to, but whenever I look at his stuff, is always like gigantic volumes.
yeah,
He wrote an impossible amount of stuff. Like it's kind of mind-boggling how much he wrote. But then again, I guess in his day, it's like, what else do you do if you're a monk besides write stuff? But
yeah, I can't pretend to be any sort of expert.
I think I have some.
Though I was about to pretend, because I know like vague things about Thomas Aquinas.
I know a little bit, but not enough to be useful
Yeah,
in any kind of discussion about
I mean, he's.
his
I think
ideas.
here I am. Here I'm being the expert. I mean, he's. I think more or less credited for synthesizing uh, the classical tradition, as they call it, which is Greece and in Christianity. So he kind of
Yeah.
smushes them together to make what essentially like if we go by like the historical reckoning, the kind of like Platonizing of Christianity.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Um, yeah,
I'm trying to remember.
I know. I know. We need a
We always get so like scatterbrained.
Well, the thing is,
I mean,
I really like this lecture and I've listened to it probably like 6 times. So I was like, whatever, I'll
I've
remember
listened to
it.
it twice. I listened to it like right after you sent it, and then later, because he also talks about um the importance of having beautiful things around you. Like he gives the example of like the difference between like in Washington D.C. the Capitol building and then like the FBI building, and how one of them is like this like beautifully crafted like neoclassical building, and then the FBI like headquarters is like a cement block that's like completely just devoid of any kind of beauty to it. It's like pure functionality. Because I think that's when he's talking about the sort of like American practicality mindset that kind of happens.
Yeah, so that's one of the two ideologies that he tackles. That's kind of something that hinders beauty or makes it less important, because kind of the thesis of his lecture is that beauty is not just a little important but all important.
Mm-hmm.
um, and so he talks about how uh, kind of the pragmatic American, Puritan mindset, for all the good it's done, in the sense that um, it's generates wealth and prosperity, um, sort of as it goes along, kind of just discards beauty more and more. Um, like the FBI versus the Lincoln Memorial, he also talks about, if you go to a post office from the turn of the century, they're pretty. They have like marble floors and pillars and stuff. And if you go to a post office now, it's like the most dreadful thing on the planet.
Yeah, it's just literally like an office
Yeah,
thing.
which is actually, before I even listened to this essay, that's how I felt about my bank. I, w- I was like, I remember I told my wife Madeline that after we after our kids watched Mary Poppins, I said we got to bring back like big, huge, imposing banks,
Not just
because
imposing, but it's like really like ornate.
yeah,
Like, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. This
because
is
my bank now,
Rachel's new here, but we've talked about this probably more than anything.
yeah, this,
It's like what our inspiration to even do this was the degradation of architecture, really.
yeah, the name is We Drink Tea and Disgust, and really the disgust is about architecture mostly
Yeah.
so far. And
But it's branched out into
yeah,
other stuff a bit, but it's always comes back to
yeah,
architecture.
sometimes the tea's disgusting too. Just kidding, the tea's always good.
Yeah, we haven't had bad tea.
Yeah. Um but yeah, my bank, it's like the most dreadful place on the planet. I think I just said that about um post office, but the the little bank that I go to, it's like furnished strictly with IKEA things. For some reason, they decided that the color scheme would be gray and like one color of gray. I don't need to
Yes.
describe this. Everyone knows what it looks like, because every bank looks like this. And I don't know if banks are gonna be like, I know in our if banks are gonna be like monstrous, evil, you know, financial strongholds, or however we look at them now. At least they can be cool looking.
Yeah. At least like
At least beautiful.
It's like you got all this money, you may as well do something cool
Yeah.
with it.
I just feel
Banks
like
don't even do cool stuff with money anymore.
no.
There's no excuse.
And this goes. I mean, this goes to everything.
Yeah.
We
I don't think there's any excuse why all of our buildings should be getting uglier.
No. There's a couple channels on YouTube where the whole point is they talk about why it actually doesn't cost much more, or it would cost the same to make buildings beautiful. It's just a cultural choice.
Yeah. Well, it's like we have, like, I think about just here where we're at. Like, you look at some of like the government building, like the old courthouse and stuff. It was built
Yeah.
in like 1910 or something, or 1920.
Yeah.
It's like, do you think the government here is wealthier now than it was then? Yeah. Like by a lot.
Yeah.
Like there was nothing here at that point, but yet they were able to build this like actually really awesome building. And we have better equipment and better tools and better techniques. We have better everything to accomplish the task. We have more resources than we ever have. Yet we go like the easy way. It's like, let's make it a block.
Yeah.
It's like, I built it in Minecraft. Let's just do that. That's today's architecture mindset is, can you build it in Minecraft?
Yeah.
You have to be able to build it in Minecraft. That's the rules. But
when the poet said when he was talking about the post offices, I like his turn of phrase which I do remember, which he said, when our nation was much younger and poorer,
yeah,
it made these beautiful buildings. And now that we're rich, we just make ugly buildings.
it's like, what's the deal? Whenever I think about it, I get kind of mad.
I know. Well,
it's like,
so
what?
so the big punch, or one of our main punching bag, has been the Provo Town Hall. So they just built a big addition to the kind of city structures around the Orem Library.
Oh, it's similar.
It is similar. It's not as bad. It's not like
No.
quite as bizarre, but it has like the same like strange
No, I see it
facade.
because I'm over there a lot, and I kind of
The skinny pillars
That-
holding up the nothingness.
yeah. Well,
I don't know.
I like get the feeling that they hired the same people to do it, but they had less budget, and it kind of made it work better. I still kind of really don't like it, but
I mean,
but it's like oh, it's so lame.
that's
I know.
kinda, so the Provo one is like
That one's-
atrocious. The Orem one, like you said, is just kind of lame. It's kinda
Yeah,
just
that one's lame. The Provo Town City Hall is like aggressively atrocious. Like it's like trying to get you. It's coming for you.
It's gonna fall on you, and it's paperwork.
Yeah,
The paperwork's in the process of like falling on your head.
Exactly. It's awful.
Maybe
Rachel, you feel differently, but I have very strong feelings about that place. It's awful. It's the worst building in the state.
Philip hates it like 200%.
Yeah,
You
hate it.
Oh, I hate it, but I like can't match your wrath.
I don't
Well-
see it as much these days. When my studio was by Smith's, I would, and when I work over there, I was.
Yeah, when Mike Grover listened to that episode, he said, "Boy, Philip sure hates that building," and I was like, "I hate it too," but no,
The depths of my hate of that building
Yeah.
are pretty bottomless.
Philip that building. What
You
does
have
it say?
no idea.
What does it say?
Oh yeah, she doesn't live around here, so it's
Well,
not her concern. So you could come down here and see it whenever you want.
yeah. So in the essay, that's kind of that's one side of a cultural force that kind of degrades art would just be uh he refers to it as American pragmatism, but it's whatever this is that art's like not important to us culturally. The other side would be you would say almost the academic, but it's postmodern, the postmodern ideology, which is obviously that everything in the whole universe is a construct we create to get cultural power or whatever. Right? It's I don't know. It's not. It's a pretty like narrow. It's a pretty narrow. Um,
Well, it's basically just like it's constructed, so it's just arbitrary sort of a thing.
yeah.
Because like the whole thing is like you kind of take things and you kind of look at the constituent parts and kind of be like, well, I can see what everything is and I can deduce like some like kind of like devised purpose of this thing to achieve an end because it was constructed to do that sort of something along those lines. And so it's like beauty is like something that's created to leverage as like a social um force to get what you want. So it's like so it's just arbitrary and people's idea of beauty is totally subjective, and that construct is used to kind of influence other people according to that. But fundamentally, it isn't a thing because you can under that view is kind of like everybody's idea is different because it doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably totally like butchering that, but it's something like that. Basically, it's just beauty is totally subjective and arbitrary.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, what it means. But
Yeah. So, and he says, um, kind of his rebuttal to that is that it doesn't that like it that sounds good intellectually, but it doesn't like map onto our experience of beauty
mm-hmm.
as he has described it. Um, so when something like the storm clouds rolling over the plains, you're not like you don't see that, and it doesn't strike you and kind of like fill you with that joy and awe for a moment, and you're not like, ah, yes, like my socio-political class
Yeah,
will be like will take power with this storm cloud that
yeah.
I'm seeing,
Your
right?
recognition of the beauty of the sunset isn't derived from like some constructed like social like power hierarchy or something. It's like you as a human being recognize that sunset as beautiful and you experience it that way. And you could say that it's subjective in the sense that you yourself are experiencing it, but everybody who takes the time to look at a sunset appreciates it,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
And to some extent or another, will have kind of that experience.
Yes. Like it's part of your humanity. It's not like it isn't totally arbitrary.
Yeah, and I would say part of that to paint in broad strokes. Part of that ideology is kind of the long-standing argument that language is absolutely everything because that's how we like create meaning.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this isn't in the lecture. This is just something I think I don't know, it seems obvious to me that let's use our example of our mountain. It strikes you first, and then you may or may not like fill your mind with the chatter of language to like explain it, right? But
Mm-hmm.
there's an experience that is before language.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's a whole, like dancing world, and then on top of that, we have like a thin layer of language.
That like you're like attempting to like because yeah, you do construct the language about a thing,
Yeah,
but it's after the fact.
yeah. So theories
Yeah.
like this are like, oh, well, language is we create the whole world with our language, and language is everything, and then language is just like arbitrary.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's I don't think true to experience.
Mm-hmm.
Um, kind of lost my train of thought. Language and beauty. Yeah, one thing last time we were talking about how we were talking more about mountains. Always talking about mountains because mountains are the prettiest.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I mean, for example, say I'm struck by something. I see the mountain and it's so pretty and it gets me in that moment. And then I go to Philip and I say that mountain was beautiful. Like
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't do anything. Like I like can't like convey that. Like Philip in your mind will like you like populate it with like your own like imagination mountain and be like, oh yeah, I bet it was right.
Yeah.
But like I can't language like can't do that.
Yes.
Um,
It's
painting can kind. I think that's one thing about different kinds of art. I feel like painting a really good painting can almost like it might not give them the exact same like experience you have,
it's
but
not like a I mean, we've talked about it
yeah,
before where it's not the same as a photograph where you're like, "Oh, that's exactly what the thing was." But instead it's like you're conveying in a more detailed way than you could with words like the experience of the thing. Cuz I mentioned like the German landscape artist that would like paint the West,
mm-hmm.
and it was never of really anywhere, but it conveys the feeling and the scale of some of the stuff you would see. But everything's like some kind of vague amalgamation of the stuff that they experienced and that they had sketched and whatnot. And then when they do the painting, it's like vaguely somewhere in California
Yeah,
in the mountains, but
and it's like way too big and beautiful, but at the same time,
yeah, the scale of it's like way beyond what it
yeah,
actually is,
but it
but it
captures like what it feels like.
yeah, it accurately captures the actual like feeling in a way that a photograph wouldn't even come close to doing justice, really. But, yeah, it's hmm. But
So just,
where were we? I don't know
I mean, postmodernism and
and stuff.
I don't know. It's dismissive of art, which is which
Kind
is
of.
kind of a bummer. But
I mean, I don't know if dismissive is the right word, but it kind of
I think it'd be pretty
demystifies it in a way that is inaccurate to what it is.
Oh yeah, I guess not art. It's not dismissive of art. It's dismissive of beauty.
Okay, yeah, that makes
Sorry,
more sense.
that's what I should have said. No, no, it digs art
'Cause
in the sense that
yeah,
every art
but
has
it
to be
sees
like
art as a tool to like an end, sort of a thing.
yeah,
Where instead of like a pursuit of beauty, because fundamentally they don't it's, oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought. They don't see beauty as an actual thing, and that art isn't something to convey beauty. Art is a tool to like social ends or something.
Yeah, which is why anything, I mean, it's any sort of art, be it film or anything you see in a museum now, like that's modern, has to have a message. There's always message, right? Um,
Placard art.
yeah. So
You have, you want, you like, part of the art is you have to read like the like essay on the wall next to it.
the horrible, horrible essay because
Oh, I never even bother.
I take pictures of them because I want to send them to you, and then I never get around to it. When they're like, when they're just like psychobabble,
Yeah.
and I can't even do like a good job. But you know, they're like,
No, I
well,
know.
they're like this like banana that I stapled to a waffle is a good example of transcendental eco diversification. Blah 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 blah, stuff like that, right? Just words, big words. Um,
Lots of words.
oh yeah, placard art. Um,
Yeah. It's like I want to be able to just. I should be able to just enjoy it. Should be able to stand on its own.
yeah,
Well, it's like when you have the. I mean, Dana kind of talks about it, but it's like in that case, it's like the art exists as like it like exists for like the ego of the artist themselves, where it's like they have this thing that they're like, I have this is like the thing I have to say. And it's kind of, in a way, I mean, from like Dana's perspective, is like that's like missing the point of creating art, because your goal isn't about like the beauty that's a thing that's outside of yourself that you're trying to like create or to convey. Instead, it's like you it's use again like using it as a tool to like your own ends,
mm-hmm.
which I mean you can, that is a thing you can do. So in a way, it's like the postmodern view isn't necessarily wrong in like
Yeah,
a practical application sort of a way, but it's kind of missing like a whole aspect of what art is with regards to its relationship to beauty.
yeah,
And I mean, Tolstoy doesn't talk about that per se, because I guess postmodern concepts didn't exist for him. But I mean, in a way, he gets into like a similar sort of thing, but he's dealing with, but it's like the misappropriation of like the use of art sort of a thing,
mm-hmm.
when he gets into like imitation art. That's a whole nother thing. I'm bringing in things that Rachel doesn't know about. Um, but I'm just seeing an interesting parallel, because he's more just talking about like art as like being pursued as this pure novelty in a way, and how that's the incorrect way. It's not true art if it's just like novel, or it's just shocking or whatever. Because he's very strict on like it has to like convey a sentiment that's truly been felt and conveyed over time and space or whatever. He's another grumpy old guy.
The grumpiest one might say.
Probably.
He looks the grumpiest.
He looks the grumpiest. I still would have loved to be at a party with him and a bunch of Russian nobility, just to see him like basically arguing about how everything everybody likes is awful. Trying to like make everybody feel bad about their tastes in like music and art, because that's what it sounds like. Every single thing that he went to was, it's like, Beethoven,
Just the
he's sucks.
just the hip,
Wagner, he's even worse.
yeah, the hipster dream.
The
It's all I want.
he
It's all I
has
want
all
to do.
hipsters beat, because he was saying
Oh yeah, before it was cool.
everything sucked well before it was cool.
Andy was he was rich, but he still had like a scraggly beard. Dude, he was the ultimate.
Yeah.
Uh,
The ultimate grumpy guy.
yeah, the ultimate grump.
Just super Russian in that way. Just very dour about everything, but also it's kind of funny. I still love him talking about them setting up like the rehearsal for like the musical,
Yeah.
or like opera at the beginning of his. It's so funny. It's like nobody wants to be there.
So
Preparing for a show that nobody wants to see, but they're gonna see it anyway
yeah,
because they're supposed to.
yeah,
Everybody's like, you have to see this.
yeah. They're putting on like a crappy ballet that nobody wants to see and nobody wants to make.
He's like,
It's-
why is this being made?
Yeah. I don't quite remember the name of the essay, but if you want to read it, it's not very long.
Is
It's
it?
just Tolstoy. Just type in Tolstoy and art. He only wrote like
Is it?
it's just the one. I mean, he wrote lots of stuff on it, but it's just the one essay. It's really fun to read.
So what is beauty?
Yeah, I don't remember what the name of the essay is.
It's really good though.
Yeah, it's really good. That's kind of like a every artist should read that and think about it.
Oh, what is art?
What is art?
I believe.
By our boy Tolstoy. We could just jumping around.
I kind of want to read that again because
I know I need to brush up on all these things. One thing though,
he has like a whole, like the first chapter of that. Is there chapters? It's like the first section is just him like going through like every like philosophy of aesthetics of his day and just like tearing them apart, and it's kind of satisfying.
mm-hmm.
It's pretty long. It's a pretty long section, but it's just him being like, here's what these guys believe and here's why that's stupid. But
Yeah, again jumping over because we also talked about Oscar Wilde, but Dana Gioia bases his lecture on a number of quotes about art, and one of them was Oscar Wilde, which is that we are hungry for beauty. Now we're just kind of bouncing around the ideas, which is fun because
that's how it usually goes.
Yeah, hungry for beauty, and so that we're sort of starving now. We have a culture that like doesn't think it's important, so doesn't give us any.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're kind of like, people want beautiful things. You know, they want beauty, but it's like whether or not it's like there to be had.
Yeah,
that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah, and he mentions at the beginning. Kind of, we already sort of went over this, but it's not just something pleasurable. Not just something like, how would I say this? This isn't what he says, but if say you're inside a building and there is like a piece of lovely like interior architecture, I don't know what it could be, like a cool staircase. It can be decorative and it can be beautiful, but beauty is not necessarily decorative. It doesn't like, there's lots of things that are decorative,
Mm-hmm.
but So a culture can have something like architecture that is decorative, and it has that power of beauty that you mentioned, where it gives you that sort of like experience.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but that's one reason that, uh, like, depending on how you define beauty, one reason that could be kind of, you could think less of it if you're just like, oh well, beauty's like decoration.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like he was mentioning at the beginning of his lecture about how things like, you cheapen the word if you say, oh, beauty parlors, beauty
Oh yeah.
salon, things like that, where
Well, he's talking about the distinction. Tolstoy actually talks about that. He's like the distinction between something being beautiful and like something being pretty.
yeah,
Tolstoy talks about like, you know, like a woman could be pretty but not beautiful,
yeah,
you know, and a but they could also be not pretty but be beautiful because it's a matter of like the essence of the thing. And so it's like, yeah, the idea of beauty is kind of what Dana's talking about, is like those two things are being like mixed up.
yeah.
So it's like things that are pretty, it's like, oh, well, that's beautiful. It's like, well, is it? Not necessarily. But, yeah, it's like cheapening it by applying the term to things where it's not appropriate. But I mean, what do you call a beauty parlor?
It's
Beauty
called
salon.
a pretty parlor.
Pretty, pretty,
I think I think that's better.
pretty.
I'd go to a pretty parlor.
But, yeah. Oh, I don't want to put that blue. That's the wrong blue. Whew. I almost put ultramarine
Oh
blue where I
man,
didn't want ultramarine blue.
you would have had to use it somewhere.
I would have. I don't know what that would have done. Would have caused chaos. I'm trying to like hone my color mixing skills. But
Yeah, and there's one thing is that, uh, I'm just, everything is nuanced, I guess. I was trying to articulate the idea that there are, this is one thing Tolstoy mentions, but there's like a bajillion theories about art. And
mm-hmm.
honestly, there's like value in most of them. It's easy to kind of be like, oh, well, postmodernism is right, stupid. But like, there's a value in it. Um, or like,
Well, I mean, all the different kind of essays and people we've talked about have all had different ideas.
yeah, well, I mean, like Oscar Wilde's like a good example in that, uh, art for art's sakes kind of flies in the face of a lot of other,
Yeah.
what a lot of other people think, but it like on its own, like it's a pretty, it's definitely like a worthwhile way to like think about it and consider it and be like, so yeah, art for art's sake, like what do I think about that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, especially in what was it? What was it? What was that essay called? The
It was like
lecture.
on like, it was like
It was like
decoration.
it's like decoration of the home or something.
Yeah.
It was like on the home decoration or something. But it's it was interesting in that talking about that, because especially after reading Tolstoy, because those two were like opposite in like philosophy with regards to art.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but there's was like a surprising amount where you're like, I don't know, there's a lot that they kind of like middle ground where they meet, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because like a lot of what Oscar Wilde was talking about with regards to like in the Americas, like what could be done to improve like fashion and like home design and stuff are like, we're kind of like very like down to earth things that Tolstoy probably would have agreed with.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where he's like, where Oscar Wilde's like the best like clothes I've seen anybody wear is like what miners are wearing. He's like, I appreciate what they're wearing because he's like, it's authentic to like what they're doing and it's interesting and like real to like what they live. And it's like, I think Tolstoy would have agreed with that in a lot of ways. Or like, talking about like wood carving and doing things like decorate your home by like carving like the wood with like design and whatnot. He's like, doesn't even have to be good, just has to like, the effort has to be like there to like want to beautify it. And again, like Tolstoy would have probably had a degree of like agreement with that, because he even talks about how like ornamentation isn't like wrong, like there's a place for it. And he talks, you know, just like about like, you know, like a folk song that might not be sung by like an opera singer is going to be more authentic as art than some opera put on by a bunch of people who don't want to do it for a bunch of people who don't want to see it, even though it might be way better executed. But like that authenticity of like wanting to do that thing and like elevate, you know, things around you by beautifying it. It's like interesting how those like opposite views find like ways that they kind of harmonize, which is very interesting. Because yeah, Oscar Wilde is very just like art for art's sake. Tolstoy is like, no, there's like a very strict thing that this is that makes it art. But and if it doesn't meet like this very strict criteria, he's like, it's not art. But
how noisy is that door?
Probably can't really hear it.
I just want to peek. I
mean, go take a look. What was I gonna? A little bit of cadmium red. What do I get?
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if that's what I wanted. Anyway.
Yeah.
Where were we?
Yeah, just stream of thought about. Yeah, I wanted us
synthesizing all the ideas I have of all the things we've talked about. But
and the reason I liked this so much is because it, the definition really matched with the like experiences I've had, especially the like last few years for whatever reason. Been more like sensitive and paying attention, mostly nature, right? Although you can kind of try and look at things and like branch out of, or, things that are less, appreciate everything sort of thing. yeah, I find myself, looking at the the mountains, and kind of just getting swept away, or my other favorite, which is trees waving in the wind. Obviously, the sky at any given time. Um, and yeah, it's sort of the experience, paying attention to the experience. The experience sweeps over you, fills your senses, and then you get that kind of whatever that thrill, that experience of beauty, um, and then it's gone, and then the urge to express it, which is interesting. I was telling Philip that's I still want to do like I get I see these things and I want to express them and I want to do it with animation because I like the movement.
Hmm.
Even though using the mountain example, mountains don't really move, although moment to moment it's shifting, right? Like
It
moment,
moves more than you would think.
yeah, you look away for a second. You look away for a second and you look back, and it's almost like a different. I mean that's maybe an exaggeration. Sometimes half the fun is you can, if you see it and it's beautiful and you look back a moment later and you can kind of get the same, you're like, oh, it's still there, it still has that, like, you know in this color palette, it's like the mountain just turned blue somehow, the same as the sky, something like that. Just rambling, um just sorting out these thoughts. But yeah, I always want to, for whatever reason, I always have the urge, I want to like I want to express it, which is, I think, a lot of why a lot of people make art, right? They see it and they want to like um express something about life. Yeah, I've wanted us to do, I don't know what to do about old Heidegger, because
It's,
Heidegger,
it's complicated stuff.
what I've sort of decided, well, so I've been I've been studying it a lot in the last couple of months, the philosopher Heidegger, and there's been some really wonderful things, and it's one of those things which changed the way I've thought about a few things pretty profoundly. But oh man, it's hard not to just think that he said what a lot of other people said, and he said it in a way 1,000 times more complicated than it needed to be. He's like the original. I put my philosophy in like I made my philosophy like incomprehensible, and there's like some reasons he did it that are like, good reasons, because he was,
Well, it's like sort of like trying to like think outside the box in a
yeah,
way by like inventing whole new like terms
yeah,
to, yeah. But it makes it really inaccessible.
yeah.
It's like we're like what on earth?
It's such a huge headache, and then once you kind of see what he's saying with some things, you think, oh well, that's a profound insight. Like it's not just, you're not. It's not just an obnoxious philosopher
Hmm.
using language that's way too complicated, but it's just not accessible at all. Like he's got an essay on art, and it's really great, but I must have listened to, I don't know, 10 hours of commentary on it to try and like wrap my head. And you're like, in the end, I don't know if it's worth it to like impose that on anyone. But yeah, he really likes the ancient Greek philosopher pre-Socrates, pre-Plato, Heraclitus. Heraclitus, to put things uh, kind of simply, described the world as like a dancing flame, right? Because and not that he thought it's not that it was like, oh, he thinks it's fire, like, he's not, which element is the world? It's fire. No, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just that, you know, each moment everything is just shifting and changing. And kind
Mm-hmm.
of having that mindset when you're looking at something like the mountain is really like it's really kind of wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like drinking it in that way and recognizing like I'm like constantly changing, the mountain's changing, and we're like I'm sort of like experiencing it moment by moment like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know what to do about. I don't know what to do about Heidegger,
Read
especially
more.
because he would really fit in with the grumpy gang because he just looks grumpy. Apparently,
He's
he wasn't as grumpy as he looks, but he looks like Mr. Wilson was about to be terrorized by Dennis the Menace. Like,
I mean, he's German, so
yeah,
that
yeah,
that
and
adds to that feel for
yeah.
sure.
In every picture, he's got a big old frown, big old scowl. It's kind of the that German like. It's like how Nietzsche was apparently a very very nice person and a very like enjoyable person to be around. But if you see a picture of him, like, it doesn't look like it.
You read his stuff and
Yeah,
I don't know if I want to meet this guy.
yeah,
He's like sounds so serious. It's like super intense.
yeah. I don't know. He might. I don't know if Nietzsche would have been very fun. Even if he was nice, he probably wouldn't be like very fun to hang around with. I don't know.
When like some of the stuff you read it and you're like, this doesn't sound like a nice person would say
Yeah,
have these ideas, but it's just very yeah. I know what you mean. Another one that's very interesting though.
yeah, yeah. Nietzsche's very interesting.
I watered this down too much.
Well, the secret is this has to go on until my baby wakes up. Yeah, yeah. I feel like a lot of historical people would be obnoxious to be around. The funny thing is the ones that I don't really like Albert Camus, apparently I think would be a really enjoyable person because he would just like he'd just be like, why don't we just like, I don't know, go like play billiards or something, like go have fun. The ones I don't particularly like are the ones that you're like, oh man, they'd be. Um, again, yeah, we've almost reached the natural lull. Would be the
I know,
natural end, but my baby's
but
asleep in
I know.
Philip's workshop, so
I know
I am. We
you
gotta.
can't really do anything.
We can't even eat these chips too much because
I'm gonna eat one.
do it. Yeah, I don't know, Rachel, what you think about some chip ASMR. There,
Oh, it's out of focus.
but that's a.
If you can read it,
Speaking of beautiful
this
things,
salsa is really good.
yeah, made by somebody in Provo.
Well, they're in like Spanish form
Oh
or
well,
something.
a local salsatier.
Because they actually have a shop down there.
Yeah, they're always at the various farmers markets.
It's really good.
It's super
It's like
good.
ridiculous.
It's super good.
Hopefully you're able to read that. Because I think they do markets at other places.
Yeah, I
too.
think they do like all they when I did the
I don't know how far north they go, but
probably not that far. Oh, who knows?
I don't know.
Like
Oh, they are very crunchy chips, and the microphone's like right there. So trying to remember what were some of the other things we read. That was also grumpy.
and Tarkovsky's.
Oh, there was the other Japanese guy.
Yeah.
That wasn't as grumpy.
Yeah, I was about to say the Art of Tea.
The Art of Tea.
The Art of Tea is a much like happier book.
Still complains.
Yeah.
Still complaining about stuff.
Trying to think. Or what? I wonder if there's anything.
I'd keep painting, but right now the paint I was using was like too wet. I'm letting it like unwet a little bit. I sprayed too much water on it. I don't want to mix up more to try and make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're at about the same spot.
Yeah,
so
again,
feel
I guess
free
we don't have to keep talking
Yeah.
like this. We just turn this off and eat chips.
Yeah, that might be the best idea.
Yeah, just because my baby's asleep.
Well,
all right.
Go enjoy dinner. Whatever it may be.
Yeah, what's for dinner?
Chips.
Chips. Are you having chips?
You have to tell us what your dinner is first. Unless you're already gone.
No.
Oh! What's your dinner?
Your dinner?
Oh.
Just soup.
Just
like generic soup.
Yeah.
Most generic soup. It's just chicken stock and a vegetable. All right. Bye.
Enjoy soup. All right. See ya. Okay.
I just turned this off.
You'll just plug it into the thing, but in stream. It was about